starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
So, before I lose my train of thought, my point here is, as a man, you know, once you're born, you want to become something. You want to become a president, like Ruto. You want to become something. Unaweza soma ufike form 4, then you decide I want to be this, or you discover you want to be a musician and stuff, right? Mm-hmm. You are not sleeping, and then some vision strikes your woman and tells you can sing.
We had this conversation here, and I think in one of the last episodes where we said, if we didn't have women in our lives, saa zingine we wouldn't even be motivated to want to.
I agree. That, you see that part? I agree. Yes. And you use the right adjective. Motivated. Mm-hmm. There has to be, you have to be playing for you to be motivated. You have to be singing for you to be motivated.
You can lack the motivation to even think that you could sing.
I like that. Now that one is not the motivation that you need. You cannot sing. Yeah. My point here is, when you have a woman, yeah, for example, KRT, I know we've all done this. Mwanamke anafikanga na kuuliza, so what plans do you have for us? Mm-hmm. Have you ever gotten yourself asking a woman, so what plans do you have for us? It cannot even come from you.
It is not manly. It's not manly. But when do you think all men at some point, how old were you when you were asked by a girl that question?
Bro,
how old were you?
I was even in form 4.
You were in form 4. You
yes.
had plans. You had plans.
I didn't have plans.
You did.
I didn't.
You didn't, but it made you start realizing I need to have plans.
Exactly.
That's
you are wise.
Exactly.
You are wise.
But you see, this was not my wife. I was too young to realize.
She was a woman. We are talking about women. These days when are being partners.
Let me tell you.
There's a woman.
Anauliza, what? Hold on. What plans do you have? So plans have to be there.
No. Then you have to come up with a plan.
Exactly.
Yes.
What I'm saying.
No,
however,
you can't say exactly, and then you pretend as if now we've not nullified your point. You've just nullified your point that actually it's possible for a man not to have a plan, but then the woman, because her job is to make sure that we have a plan, she will remind you that we need a plan, and then it will force you to have a plan. Same thing which happens even if you lost your job. If a man loses their job, a man can sit in the house na auze kila kitu kwa nyumba, bora bakishe mattress hapo na kwenda simu yake ya mtumizi, and he will be happy. But it's a woman who will come into this life and will say, baby, want tutaendelea kuishi hivi? And then you realize, oh shit, okay, maybe we need to fix this. Wait a minute. Wait. The woman will come. Yes, you can be the smart one, okay? You can be the smart one who can come up with a better plan, okay? But the presence of a woman in your life is what will even motivate you to want to have plans. Otherwise, men are very, we can live in caves. We can go back and live in caves.
Why are you dismissing yourself and agreeing to yourself at the same time? When we started this discussion, I said that a woman is simply supportive to you. What I'm trying to say, you have to build a structure for it to be supported. You have to.
You build a support system. You build a structure that will support the building. You don't set up a building and then you build a support structure.
I like that. You build. You see, you build. You started by saying it's like you two have to build. Bring water, bring brick.
Can I ask something to both of us, to all of us in fact? You said you can have plans, even right now. Let's say you are not married, you say you can have plans about your family or about your woman. That is true. We can agree to that. You have plans before you get married on what you want to have to do with your woman and your family. But do you know that it's true again that you cannot have plans, or the plans you have may not fit into the person you're going to meet?
Yes.
In fact, you meet someone and then now you can really start planning about it.
Actually, again, I think when we started the conversation, the question was about polygamy, and I think, I think that reminds me why sometimes we need more than one woman in our lives, because the plans that you have also need to tally with. I mean, they are inspired by the person that you are, by your partner. Which there's a woman, a man can marry wife A, they divorce after 5 years, and then marry wife B, and then you realize in the 5 years that he was married to wife A, he did basically this. And then within 6 months of being married to wife B, he's able to accomplish a lot.
But that is true.
Because
What
the
woman?
the difference
Yes,
is
exactly.
the difference is not
You
the
didn't
man.
have a support system.
And how can they support you?
Wait.
How can they support you if
The
you can't be seen?
man, I think we're using the left brain to think here. The both of you.
I think the left is
The man has always been the constant K. You understand? What changes is the woman you have.
Okay,
When
let me
I tell
explain
you
to you
the
what
woman you
that
have
means.
is a support
Let me
system.
explain to you what that means, because I think you have the right statement, but you don't understand what it means. Okay, what you just said means this. Okay, the man is the
That is
constant.
the understanding you have. Now,
Yes, it's-
say how you understood it.
Yes, and I hope you use this in your life. So, the first woman, maybe she was very supportive. She's the one who was supporting this man. They go drinking every other weekend.
Very supportive.
She was the one who was very supportive, and they
I
kept
can't get up like-
sending money to her
Yeah.
people's home. They wakajengea mama ya nani, wakajengea brother ya nani,
Very supportive.
She was very supportive, and at the end of the day, what happened? Well,
Yes.
divorce. But there could come into the picture a second woman who has who thinks differently from the man, from the man. And this woman, what she will do is that she will second check the man. Okay, we made 2 million shillings this month. Wewe unamwambia nataka nilikuwa nafikiria tununue ng'ombe mbili hivi nini ng'ombe what if tufanye hivi na 1 2 3, and then that even just asking the question, it's not necessary that you have to do exactly what she said, but it will make you ask yourself, is this the best use for this money? If you realize it is the best use, you try hiyo point umesema iko sawa, lakini tutafanya hiyo siku nyingine. Sasa hiyo acha kwanza tufanye hivi, okay? And I'm not saying, so we're not saying that every time a woman suggests something, you have to do it for it to the partner, even for this to be working. Her role is to check with you if you are sure, if you are not running on autopilot. Like, have you thought about this carefully? Because again, when you have a woman who uses her brain, you will be utakuwa unajiuliza nini? Again, if I go and spend this 500 G's in for a weekend in Watamu or in Naivasha, kuna ule mwanamke anaenda kuleta kelele, what can I do? Let me go and make more money so that even if I spend 500, I'll send her enough to shut her down. Okay, that you're just checking with you, checking you, second guessing you. You know, that becomes a role that's very important for you as a man. And which is why I think that my point was, we need more women in our lives so that
you and I would need more. Like for him,
he
I don't
can't
think it
manage
will be trouble
one.
for him.
No, this one will
because
be trouble.
it will be, you're bringing just mouths to feed and wombs to give babies.
More children, more babies. More.
Why do you guys complicate yourselves here when you act like you are going to? My friend, the moment you start becoming democratic with these women, they will connive, die, and each of them will get married. Let me educate you. Listen.
Before you do, there is something you said you might.
You are really skewed towards Steve. It's like
When we listen to you, we really listen to you.
In fact, the reason we are even saying this is because you have a different opinion, which, if I say something here, maybe it will be a practical example to use. It's possible for a man to run on autopilot. Men,
give me an example. Autopilot.
We pull a man when they are so hard or they lack something so much. They will personally. This is what I do. I hope it happens to men. I keep it in my heart like, okay, the next time I'm able to buy myself a car, I'm motivated. Not necessarily maybe I don't need a car like maybe I can walk to work or I stayed where I work or something like that. But I feel so bad that I needed a car and he couldn't give me. Or we grew up and admiring a family that had a car, we couldn't ride. Personally, I bought things when I had my first money. I bought things to satisfy my
inner child.
The things that we did not have at home. I bought things that
Did you buy a microwave?
Yes.
Okay.
And I realized I didn't even back then I didn't even have a fridge. I bought an expensive one and I bought a cupboard. I didn't need that. A cupboard, you know I don't. Okay. So I was like 2 weeks into buying them. I realized no, No, honestly.
What am I supposed to do?
What am I saying? Just maybe nipige picha nitumie sasa the neighbors. And I got a woman in my life then. I had a woman, and then they realized, you know, this space. What if we use this space for ABCD? What if we had a ABCD in this space? And I didn't only feel stupid, but I also felt sorry for myself because I just feel things in the house. I just feel things to satisfy my child. And it's possible that I couldn't have wondered why. It's my house anyway, I close it. Hata siwezi kumbuka tunaweza fungua pale mbele ikuwe duka and then we put other things zenye tunahitaji kunyuma. I had a big house because I wanted a big house to make a statement or to make me myself feel good. So when you realize you have a woman who you are not humble enough to listen to first, or they don't feel they have a chance to suggest on how you can improve even your immediate space, would you need another wife, another woman in your life?
You see, every person that you see when you're successful, I can assure you today, I think let's not close ourselves in cocoons that we don't even learn and interact with men who have made it. We can say that in every successful man, behind there's a woman and all these. I don't believe in these Western things. I mean, I like seeing things over there. Mm-hmm. There's a guy here in town who he's one of those very hardworking and rich people. I'm not going to mention him, but after the show I'll tell you who that is. Unamjua na unamjua. He has an electrical shop, one of the biggest. I think by now you know who he is. Mm-hmm. I sat with him and asked him like, how comes you're really doing well? He told me a story and he got very emotional. He told me like when I was in class, I didn't get what the teacher was saying, and worst of it all was when he speaks English, I cannot get. So akajikokota akafika form 3. Akasema enough is enough, this is not my thing. All I want to do is open a shop. So akiwa games aliambia marafiki zake, by the way, this is my last day at school. You will no longer see me and I'll employ you. You understand? So akatoka shuleni akaanza kuuza malimali. Fast forward right now, he has strings of business. I have another relative who told me more or less a similar story. And I have another one who's ni visionary, but ameoa mwanamke mwenye hawezi msaidia kabisa. This is what I mean. When I talk of support,
even mwanamke anaweza saidia mtu.
When I talk of support, I mean support in either way. Kuna mtu atakusupport uuze shamba, mfanye nini. Kuna mtu atakusupport msiuze shamba. So when I talk of support, I'm not meaning that it has to be development oriented. That's why you need to date your woman. Ujue this is the type of person I need. And hiyo smartness kila mtu amezaliwa nayo. So if you make your wrong choices of women,
you will suffer.
You will suffer with that support that she'll come along with. If you make a good choice ya mwanamke, but what I mean is the constant person in your life is you. You have to have that vision. You have to fight for it, right? That's why I told you ukiangalia most artists, because we relate to them more. The moment unasikia ameoa, that person is usually done. You agree with that?
I do not agree with that. Actually, many artists.
Mostly,
kuna wanaume wengi walioa na wakasucceed after walioa.
You are not now listening. Unless they are in your line. For example, let me give you an example. If we are talking of a young man called Bahati, it's because somehow the wife ako kwa hiyo line. So anajua nikisupport you unaelewa what is happening in the industry. So you get married to somebody else who does not even like music.
Why are you marrying?
No. Kuna hii attractions. Unaweza pata hata mtu wa chipo anapenda chips. Akupende, right?
You unapenda chips.
What I'm trying to say, the trick is in
finding the right person.
Finding the right woman who give you the support
or women
that you need. Because sometimes pia unaweza pata mwanamke mwenye very sharp. You know, she's handsome. Ukisikia kitu, let's do this. Pia huyo You will get men who are saying, I swear I wish I never married. And when you look at the woman, she's sharp, employed, she has businesses. You know, but the man is frustrated deep down because the woman is very supportive, but she's not giving you the support that you need.
Because you need a positive and a negative charge for the circuit to be complete. So maybe they were two positives.
Exactly.
They couldn't move.
You are a musician. Yeye maybe anapenda mambo ya farming, unaona. So she feels wewe unaimba sana.
You can find a right person in that person as well.
No, I'm just giving an example. Oh, una feel nikiimba nikipiga muziki.
But don't be careful with the suggestions you're giving, the examples you're giving, because you might be suggesting to a young man out there that maybe if you're a musician you shouldn't marry a farmer, and which will not be a good.
My brother, I'm sorry. How you consume this, maybe you can also get somebody who understands better and explain to you. What I mean is this. You can, what I technically mean, kuna pia wanawake wenye wako into textile, anapata mtu wako into showbiz, anamsupport kwa hiyo dini yake. You know, you can do it. It doesn't have to be financial ama financial. We know one in this town. And unaweza pata mtu mwingine mwenye wewe uko into film and stuff, right? Lakini anaona hii film wasichana watakuchukua. So nakwambia baby, farming is doing so well. I make like $1 million a month. Toka hapo nikupea support kwa farming. Farming is not into you. You understand? It is support, but not skewed towards what you want.
I have a question for you.
Make them two.
No, I have one question for you. I have a feeling you can only handle one at a time. How many women should a man have?
Can we call this a break, and then I think we can finish this here. The next thing we are going to talk about is polygamy, which should have been the topic. So now, I was asking you, what is your opinion on polygamy? Now we stick to polygamy.
Polygamy.
And you can use what we have discussed to inform your position or to suggest, to support whatever you want to talk about.
One, I think, I believe that two heads are better than one. And I believe that it's not possible, it's not easy to find everything that you need in one person. So for example, if in your life as a man, you need a partner who understands finances, who can help you with your finances, because not every man is good with finances. So if you need a woman who can, keep account of everything that you have and everything, you might find a woman who's good with that, but she's not good with raising babies and stuff like that. And then you can find, maybe you need also a woman who is prayerful and everything, and maybe the woman who is very good with finances, she might not be a very prayerful person. So I believe that that's why even the African man, the Africans, in African setup, there was that provision that you need like 4 or 5 women so that they can be able to balance those sectors. So that if you have the woman who is a homekeeper, she will make sure the whole home, and normally, hopefully, that will be the first wife. She will make sure that even other people will come in, they know how to play their roles. And then if you need, a woman who will just go to the mountain and just pray for you and akesha huko kuombea, later, you could have that. And if you need someone who mwenye anazamani chama aliao ama ipenga kaiba utaka muonda sike forward you bage inyebi tomata mo there nini like I'm lucky to have a partner who is very good with bargaining. Hata mtu wa malimali akipita hivi anauza jug hivi ya 20 bob, she will find a way of taking that jug for 15 shillings, even when you know that this jug is not supposed to be anywhere less than 100 shillings. So I believe when you're not those they are life savers, those ones. It makes life.
Your business is doing well.
Yeah, our business is doing well. I'm a happy person. So I believe if you are lucky to find
20 of them,
a woman who can do all these things and be all these things that you need a partner for, which is very rare and very hard. I think that would be good. So it's not like I'm not advocating for just a number for the sake of a number, that you just have many women just for the sake of it. But really, don't expect one person, the woman that you've married, if you really like them to the extent that you've chosen to marry them, if you're not able to, don't force them into sectors they're not good at. Once you expect, so don't force them to. you have to be doing ABCD. So I think
Jay.
I can marry for function, not marry for the sake of marry.
He will marry for function. Is a polygamy fever, but yake ni for function.
We're standing on the fence.
It's I could call it. I'm a man and I speak on my behalf and that on the behalf of a few men around me. It's a human nature that you can love one woman so much completely, so you don't want to hurt them, but still have room for, like you can see another beautiful woman and think about them even sexually. You can listen to someone who speaks a totally different language, like, or understanding, has a totally different understanding about life and the other things, and you feel like, well, that can fit somewhere. It's not like he's going to replace the other one, but you feel men have room, even emotionally, to accommodate many women, and nature, or God, or the universe, has even given the world so many more women than men. Is it something definitely that was meant to be that way, and then we had some knowledge that it's sinful to have more than one woman? What's your take?
Men are naturally polygamous. Women are naturally monogamous, because for a woman to demonstrate love to you, they have to have sexual exclusivity.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be, you. And for a man to demonstrate love to a woman is by provision. So if I can provide for a dozen, I'm good.
So, viva polygamy.
Yeah.
Why?
And it takes a man who's mentally strong, because women are quite emotional.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be prepared. And I have to say, you also have to be not so normal. Because sometimes when you act like you care so much, you might end up falling in love with one of them. And
What do you mean? You're not going to fall in love with them all?
yes, that is the number one mistake. I mean, there have to be rules. You have to make.
Actually agree.
You have.
No, come on. I want more, but I will love them all.
Yes, you have to make,
because you're not in competition anyway.
You can't marry women different. They're all your women. You need to love them.
No, I will love them. Of course, I will love them if it's body contact. I will give them all equally. And if it's, I will not spend time with you when the vibration I want with a woman who wants to do farming, always good at farming, and that's why I brought them on board. I won't spend time with them when I'm thinking about probably my next song.
Let me tell you.
Think about the one who's more artistic. So I will love you different.
If we start looking at our tradition,
And by the other question, you said something, if you can provide for a dozen, there's no problem. But that's you now doing something for them. What is it that a woman can do to you that you'd want to have more than one?
submissiveness.
Yeah,
The more the more people
Yes.
can submit to you.
I mean, if you get into this room and everybody shows you respect, would you want 50 more in the room to show you respect?
I got you.
A king. You're
Yes.
a king, yes.
So men used to marry many women because one, ilikuwa inawa elevate. They feel like two, it was cheap labor. If I have my 20 women, I don't need to go digging. I need to just sit at home and account. Well, ulifanya kazi gani na watoto wako 10, we did this and this. Now wewe and this. And these people used to live so well.
You're playing the role of the first wife. That's the role of the first wife. To check on what the other wives did. That's not your job.
Mm-hmm.
That's not for you. It's not your job to be the
Administrator.
There was no rule that was cutting across. Maybe I'm talking of mentorship. Before you decide like your wife should take that over, because kazi yako ndio hiyo. When it's your wife, at the same time your wife will bring a report to you, so you have to check. It doesn't matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
The reason why it is the easiest and the hardest task to happen right now is because one, hatuna shamba, so you have to have houses wagawie. So right now it's a rich man's affair. You cannot be poor. You know how they say a poor man is a only man. You cannot be poor
You're so poor.
You cannot
Poor in spirit or poor in... You cannot be poor in...
when you have money, it's just that. You cannot be poor and be polygamous.
But it's the other way around for me. I can...
But you just said
when I don't have money...
poor man is a horny man. So what?
Yes.
See, then when I'm poor is when I'm horny, so I need more women when I'm poor.
It's not about you needing women, they need you. You know that's the
And me, when I'm super broke, like super broke, I don't get one. It's the other way around.
Because you are a polygamist.
Naturally, and it should
Yes.
be natural, not what.
So
Not like it's not that it's not activated in me.
and when men sit and they just pretend that I'm monogamous, it's a lie. Because if you have a wife at home and you have side chicks,
You can only be monogamous if you've chosen. I've chosen to be monogamous. Not that you are, you've chosen to be monogamous.
Yeah, it's like choosing not to.
like you said earlier on in the earlier discussion, there's something you have in you that your woman needs to dream and tell you. So it is in you, it just needs to be awakened. It's most people, we are all polygamists, but just in denial. By the way, if you have a side chick, you are polygamist. It's simple as that.
And even restraining yourself not to have them physically, but in your mind you have them. You're a
Yes.
because even it's like being taught you have to clean your hands before you eat. That is information to your head. Until it comes to your heart, when there's no one, it's easy. You can grab and then. But these teachings on it's evil, it's sinful, it's something else to be polygamous, which unpopularized the polygamy. Because in Africa, my grandfather had 9 wives. He successfully held his family together, and we are a happy family. But now
I'm happy, but you are there.
Happy mostly. So, and when I grew up from a polygamous grandfather and go to church in his land that tells me it is wrong and evil to be.
And he's the one who has provided grounds for the church.
For the church. Are we letting go of ourselves, or is that one of the things you are a Christian and a believer and you like referring to the Bible? Is it one of the things that you will not agree with the Bible?
I challenged somebody a few weeks ago. I told them, could you open in the Bible and tell me actually where the Bible says that a man be faithful to your woman? Have you come across that?
I think faithful partners. They have taught us outside
Not
the Bible.
faithful. It's a woman who should be faithful to the man.
So they came with the Bible but told us different things.
You see, people have, I'm not, sijasikia hiyo, it is just that maybe people get excited and then it cuts across. But I've not, it's like when a woman tells me,